Okay, so we're going to continue on with the review of Unit 4, Lesson C, and we're talking about using used to or used to. All right. So number 3 on page, let's see, 46 in our workbook. Okay. Number 3 says complete the paragraph. Use used to or the simple present tense. Okay. So you use used to or the simple present tense. Let's look at the first example because it's done for us. First and second, actually. Samantha used to eat. All right, so they're asking us, they're telling us to use the word eat. So the present perfect tense of eat is used to eat. Okay. Samantha used to eat a lot of chocolate and ice cream. Now she eats, this is our simple present tense, a lot of fruit. And we have to use take in this one. Vitamins every day. Okay? So now what we need to do is to pause the video and to see where we are going to use used to or the simple present tense of the verb that they give us. All right? So let's take some time, pause the video, and do 3 through 11, and then we'll come back and I'll share what my answers were to this to number 3. All right? So let's do that now. Okay, so let's continue. So Samantha used to eat a lot of chocolate and ice cream. Now she eats a lot of fruit, and I use the simple present tense, which is takes vitamins every day. Okay? She blank only once a week, but now she blank to the gym 3 times a week. All right? And they want us to use exercise and go. So she used to exercise only once a week. That's the past, right? But now is the simple present. She goes to the gym 3 times a week. All right? She blank to work, but now she blank a bike. Okay? So this is going to be past tense, right? She used to drive to work, but now, so we're using the word now, so we're using the simple present tense, but now she rides a bike. Okay? Now, let's see, the next one. She blank a lot of coffee, but now she blank tea or fruit juice. All right? So this is the past, right? She used to drink a lot of coffee, but now, the present, she drinks tea or fruit juice. Number 10, all right, and 11. She blank tired all the time, but now she blank a lot of energy. All right? So we're going to go into the past tense, right? She used to feel tired all the time, but now she has a lot of energy. Samantha has changed her habits and feels much better now. Okay? So those are the answers that I have, and I'll read through the whole thing so it makes better sense. All right? So Samantha used to eat a lot of chocolate and ice cream. Now she eats a lot of fruits and takes vitamins every day. She used to exercise only once a week, but now she goes to the gym 3 times a week. she used to drive to work, but now she rides a bike. She used to drink a lot of coffee, but now she drinks tea or fruit juice. She used to feel tired all the time, but now she has a lot of energy. Samantha has changed her habits and feels much better now. All right, so now that makes sense. All right, very good. So hopefully you got the same answers. We were using used to, and then we were using the simple present tense. All right, good. So let's move on to page 47 in our workbooks. Okay, so page 47 now in our workbooks. Let's take a look at number 4. Read the chart. Write sentences about Emilia. All right, so before we read the chart, let's look at the pictures and see if we can make sense of this. All right, so here Emilia is sitting down with it looks like a bag of chips, watching TV at let's see, 2 o'clock. All right, this could be morning, it could be afternoon, I'm not sure, but it's right at 2 o'clock. The next picture is Emilia. She looks like she's eating some fruit, and she's happy. Okay. All right. So obviously, this picture is before, and now this picture is after. All right. So the chart says, in the before, Emilia, stay up until 2 a.m. So this is a.m. Okay, so it's 2 o'clock in the morning. All right. Before, eat meat every day. Go straight home after work. Eat a lot of fatty foods. And skip breakfast. Now, go to bed at 10 p.m. Eat fish twice a week. Go to the gym 3 times a week. Eat salad and vegetables. Eat fruit and yogurt for breakfast. Okay, so that looks good. So let's see what they want us to do. Write sentences about Emilia. Okay, so we've got our chart here, and they want us to write a sentence. All right, so number 1 is before, stay up until 2 a.m. Now, go to bed at 10 p.m. So they wrote for us, Emilia used to stay up until 2 a.m., comma, but now she goes to bed at 10 p.m. Okay, makes sense. So let's pause the video and take some time to complete 2 through 5 using everything that we see here in our 2 columns, the before and now. All right, and then we'll come back and I'll share my answers with you that I used to complete this exercise. All right, so let's pause now. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. So number 2 is before, eat meat every day, and now eat fish twice a week. So I wrote down, Emilia used to eat meat every day, comma, but now she goes, but now she eats fish twice a week. Okay. Number 3 is go straight home after work. That was before, and now go to the gym 3 times a week. So for number 3, I wrote down, Emilia used to go straight home. She used to go straight home after work, comma, but now she goes to the gym 3 times a week. All right. Number 4, before she used to eat a lot of fatty foods. Now eat salad and vegetables. So I wrote down, Emilia used to eat a lot of fatty foods, comma, but now She eats salad and vegetables. All right. Number 4. Before, skip breakfast. Now, eat fruit and yogurt for breakfast. All right. So I wrote down, Emilia used to skip breakfast, comma, but now she eats fruit and yogurt for breakfast. All right. So those are my answers, and hopefully you got the same. All right. Let's move on to number 5. Write questions and answers about what Emilia used to do. Use information from exercise 4. All right, so we're going to use this information in exercise 4 to answer number 5. All right, so the first one is done for us. They give us Emilia, and then they give us a phrase, stay up until 2 a.m. or 2 o'clock a.m. And their question is, did Emilia used to stay up until 2 a.m.? Notice this is a question, and notice they use the word use, the phrase used to, okay, and not used, but used to, okay? And then your answer would be according to the story, all right? So, did Emilia used to stay up until 2 a.m.? Yes, she did. Right? Yes, she did. All right. So now let's take some time to answer 2 through 3. All right. And this is just to test how you've been doing in this lesson, to make sure that you get it right. All right. So if you have any questions about how to do this, or if your answers are correct or not, let me know. You can email me, or you can send me a message in the WhatsApp, or we can talk about this during our Zoom meetings. All right? So that would be a great exercise for you to complete on your own. And now we're going to move on to lesson F. Okay, we're going to be moving on to lesson F. All right, in Unit 4. This is our Unit 4 review. Okay, let's see here. We're going to be talking about reported commands. All right, we've done this before, but this is our review, so let's remind ourselves what we're talking about here. Reported commands. When we want to report a command or request, we use a verb like tell with a to clause. Okay? For instance, this is past tense, so we will say, he told me to go away. Okay? This is past tense again, so he says, our example is, he told me to go away. The pattern is verb plus indirect object plus the to clause. All right? So, he told me. Told is the verb, me is the indirect object, and then the to clause, to go. To go. All right? Away. The indirect object is the person spoken to. Okay? He is the person who generated the conversation. And then me is the person who he is speaking to. Okay? Other verbs used to report commands and requests in this way are command, order, warn, ask, advise, invite, beg, teach, and forbid. All right? let's look at this a little bit more. Let's look at some examples. We have direct speech and indirect speech. Direct speech would be, the doctor said to me, stop smoking. Okay? Another direct speech would be, get out of the car, said the policeman. Could you please be quiet, she said. The man with the gun said to us, don't move. These are all examples of direct speech. Let's look at indirect speech. We use this more in English level 3. The doctor told me to stop smoking. The policeman ordered him to get out of the car. She asked me to be quiet. The man with the gun warned us not to move. Okay, so let's go over reported commands, the form. Alright, so we have affirmative, positive commands. We use to and then the infinitive, right, which is the base form of the verb. And then for negative commands, we use not to plus the infinitive, which is the base form of the verb. So let's look at the examples here. First, we'll start with affirmative commands using to plus the infinitive, right, or the base form of the verb. Direct speech would be dad. Okay, so dad is speaking. He is saying, do your homework. All right, do your homework. The reported speech this is what we use the most in level 3. All right, so this is the one we want to pay attention to. The reported speech is, Dad told me to do my homework. All right, so we'll notice up here, to do, right? To do my homework. All right. Negative commands. Here are our examples for negative commands. Remember, negative commands are not to and then the infinitive. Okay? So direct speech is, the teacher is saying this. Okay? This is what the teacher is saying. Don't talk to your friend. All right? Now, the reported speech, this is what we use mostly in level 3. So this is the one we have to pay attention to. Reported speech is, the teacher told me not to talk to my friend. Okay? Not to talk to my friend. All right? So this is how we use reported commands. So let's look at what they want us to do with reported commands. So let's turn our student books over to page 55. All right, in our student books, page 55, we have number 2, grammar connections, reported commands. All right, so this is what they want us to do. Use the base form of the verb to give a command, meaning to tell someone to do something. Use don't plus the base form of the verb to give a negative command, to tell someone not to do something. To report a command, use tell plus indirect object and then plus the infinitive, or to plus the base form of the verb. Okay, so let's look at the example that they give us here. Reported commands. The subject, who gave the command, the verb, and then the indirect object, told who, and then the infinitive, to plus the base form of the verb. Okay, so here's the command. Open wide. All right, the subject is the dentist Okay, let me just read this through, and then we'll go through the subject, verb, and indirect, and infinitive. So the command is open wide. The reported command, right? So this is the direct command. This is the indirect command, right? The dentist told me to open wide. Okay, so the dentist is the subject, told is the verb, me is the indirect object, infinitive is to open wide. All right, let's look at the next command. This is a direct command. Don't skip breakfast. All right, the indirect command or the reported command is the doctor told him not to skip breakfast. The subject is the doctor. The verb is told. The indirect object is him. And the infinitive is not to skip, right? So here's the infinitive, skip breakfast. All right, and this is the negative. All right, so if you need to, we can go back to what we've learned here in general. Okay, direct speech and reported speech, direct command and reported command, and we can apply it here. All right, and then we can also scan this barcode to watch a short video on how we use this a little bit more. All right, but for now we're going to keep on going and actually use these. Okay, so let's turn to page 52 in our workbook. Okay, and now we're going to start with number 1. Read the questions, look at the form, then fill in the correct answers. All right, so let's look at the form first. This is a form, and it's a medical history form. And the question is, first question is, what is the reason for your visit? What's the problem? Person has allergies. The date the problem began was 3 weeks ago. Second question, have you ever had any of the following? And Eva Hernandez checked off that she has had allergies, asthma, headaches, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol. All right. Number 3, please list all medications, including vitamins and herbal supplements. She wrote down that she takes vitamin C, garlic pills, and aspirin. Number 4, list any other major illnesses, injuries, or surgeries you have had in the last year. And she hasn't had anything. She hasn't had any major illnesses, any injuries, or surgeries in the last year. All right, and she attests that the above information is correct to the best of her knowledge, and she signed it, Eva Hernandez, and the date is August 25th, 2018. Okay, so from this medical history form, we can now answer some questions. The first one is done for us. Eva went to the doctor because of B, allergies. Okay, allergies. So now let's take some time to pause the video and work on 2 through 4, and then we'll come back and I'll share my answers with you. All right, and hopefully we've got the same answers. All right, so let's pause the video now.